Hi everyone, I'm Terry, and this is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 63. Welcome. Okay, so let's see, what have we done? What have I done this week? I have a couple of finished objects. For one thing, I finished the stitch sampler blanket that I've been showing you that I've been working on for a while. I'm not sure, I'd have to look back in my notes to see when I started it, but I did finish it. So I thank you because last week I had mentioned to some of the people to the viewers, to all of you, to get over on the Facebook group and remind me to be working on it. And I did have a couple of, I think 2 or 3 people that asked me or sent me reminders about working on it. So I thank you. So I did get it finished. So let me make sure I have it on the right side. Of course, it's really big, so I'm not going to be able to show it all to you, but I'll do my best. Okay, so here it is. I'm really liking the way it turned out. This is, the yarn I used is Mandala, Lime Brand Mandala in the colorway Centaur. And the pattern I used is from a pattern book. Let me reach over here and get it. It's from a pattern book called Afghans for All Seasons. A very old book. I think it's book number 1 in the series because I think there's a whole bunch of them now. But I have seen it on Amazon, so there, you can find it different places. And I think I saw it on Amazon. It was only $3 and something because it's an old book. But anyway, the pattern that I used was in this book, and it is. Let me see. I've got it marked here. Let me find it. The Stitch Sampler, and there is the picture. They changed colors with theirs, and it would be a very good pattern to use as a scrap project. But I use the, like I said, I used the Centaur colorway of the Mandala from Lime Brand. And it was a little bit smaller than what I wanted because in the book it called for to use a worsted weight yarn, and the Centaur, this colorway that I used, the Lion Brand Mandala yarn that I used is a number 3 weight, which is like a sport weight. And so when I was getting toward the end, I think it has like 80, I want to say like 82, 84 rows, something like that, or rounds. And I had gotten to maybe 78, something like that. So I was getting toward the end, and I kind of looked ahead, and the stitches were going to be a lot of single crochet rounds toward the end, and I knew it wasn't going to end up being as large as I was wanting it. So what I did is I went over to my another favorite pattern of mine called the Around the Bases blanket, and that's what if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's on that chair right there. I've shown that pattern before, but I used it for that blanket back there. And what I did is where I had stopped at, it told me at the end of the round how many stitches I was going to end up per side. And so I went over to the Around the Bases blanket, which has different sections. And it's called Around the Bases because it's like based on baseball. And so the parts are divided up into what they call innings. And so I looked on there to see where my stitch count kind of equaled the rounds over there, what they were, or how do I say it? Okay, so I had so many stitches per side, so I went over there to see with that many stitches per side where I could start. Anyway, and it ended up being the 7th inning. That's what it's called. So part 7 of the blanket, which was a very nice part to add, I thought, because it was this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's this cable. It's a crossover stitch that I used. And so that added about, from here up, so it added what is that, 2.5 inches, something like that. And so I just ended that up with that. And so by the time I got finished with that part of that blanket, I felt like that this one was large enough, so that's where I ended it. Now, I will take a picture of that blanket all laid out, and I will have it on my Instagram and and probably post a picture of it in my Facebook group as well. My Instagram account name is Yarnjoy_podcast. And then my Facebook group is Yarnjoy Podcast. So feel free to come over and join our group and share pictures of what you're working on and see what we're doing over there. So anyway, I will post pictures of that blanket all laid out flat so you can see what it looks like all together, since I can't hold it up, it's too big. So anyway, that is also an entry that I will be entering in the Cakewalk Cow that Ella of No Catchy Name and Mo of Unseen Strands is holding or hosting, because it is used with the mandala cake yarn. So it is qualifying for that Cakewalk Cow. So I will post a picture in the, I've been posting my pictures in the Cakewalk Cow album that Ella has had on her No Catchy Name Facebook group. And so I will put it over there as well. So anyway, there's that finished object. And the only other finished object I have is the next 6 squares of my not mine, but the 365 Days of Granny Square project that Nadia of Yarn Utopia posted in, I think, 2016, so I'm like way behind. But she posted a video here on YouTube, a tutorial each day for that whole entire year of a different variation of a granny square, and so I've been following along. And so last week I left off on number 263. So here we go. So this is 264 right there. It's got popcorn stitches. I think, is that backwards? No, it's that way. I don't know if you can tell the difference or not, but anyway, there it is. And then this one's number 265, which I was very happy with this one. I think this one turns out really pretty. Now this one actually was going to turn out a very large square, and so I went down to, I don't even think it was an E size hook. I think it was less than an E, so it was like a, I don't remember if it was a 3mm or like a 3.25, something like that. It was a very small hook that I used because I wanted to make sure that it was small enough to be comparable to the other size squares that I was doing. And then actually after I did it, it wasn't quite big enough, and so I had to go around it a couple of more times with this orange there to enlarge it just a tad. But anyway, I think it turned out really cute. I like it. Okay, so that's 265. This one is 266, and this one is, I don't know if you can tell, but it is a spider square. And she had it in black with an orange background, but I wanted to look more like a cheerful spider. Actually, I tried to make it look like a bug, or like a lady. I had plans. I thought, oh, I'll make it look like a ladybug. Well, that didn't turn out very well. And then I thought, well, I'll try to do 6 legs only, and I'll try to make it look like some sort of a beetle. But that just didn't seem like it was working out. So I thought, oh, well, I'll make it a spider, but it'll be a little cheerful spider. So anyway, there's that one. So that one's okay, I lost count. What number was I on? Let me think. Okay, so 264, 5, 6. That was 266. Okay, number 267 is this one. I like the way that one turned out. And this one is number 268. This one. That one is a kind of a 3-dimensional popcorn stitch flower. Okay, and 269. It's kind of wonky, but as always, when I get it attached with the other squares, it'll turn out a whole lot better. It's just not blocked or anything. Anyway, that's 269. Okay, so that's my finished objects. So that transitions us into the works in progress. And as you know, I've been putting these blanket these squares I've been making, I've been putting them together with a join as you go, which is a flat braid method that I like to use to join my squares together. And I started a new set because last week I had a completed blanket, and so I had 7 squares last week, and so I went ahead and joined them together. So there you go. This is 6 squares across with 1 extra there at the bottom for number 7. Last blanket. I did 5 squares by 5 squares. This one I'm going to go back and go ahead and do the 6 squares across, but I may not do 6 by 6. I was thinking I might do 6 squares by 5 squares and it'd be more of a rectangular piece. So we'll see once we get the 5 rows in if I like it. So anyway, there's that. And I am joining it this time, let me show you, with this blue right here, and that is Red Heart Super Saver in, I don't have it. I think it's periwinkle. I don't know if it might be light periwinkle, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the color. Okay, so next works in progress, is my little Horton Elephant that I've been working on. Now this, as I was saying before, I have a friend that is a school teacher, and she teaches, I believe, 3rd grade, and she was, the mascot of her classroom is Horton, the Horton character from Dr. Seuss, and so she had asked me if I could do a Horton for her classroom. And so I found this pattern. It is a paid for pattern, but it's just really cute and it's written really well. I think it's worth the price to pay for it. This is by Shimmery Creations, and I will show you the picture. Try to show you the picture. Let me get that out of the way. So, can you see? Oh my goodness, it's just really bright. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry. Anyway, it's there. Can you see him? Horton the Elephant. Anyway, I don't know if I'm having trouble with it today, but anyway, here is my what I've done, the work I've done on it, in other words. Okay, so I've done the head and the body, and I've got them attached together, and then this morning I did the ears, the earpieces. See how they have little scallops on the edge of the bottom edge of the ears? I think they've turned out really cute. Okay, and then I do have his trunk right here. And but I haven't attached it. Now in the instructions it does say to go ahead and attach the trunk, but I was thinking that I might go ahead and wait just a little bit and go ahead and make the legs, so then I'll see the length of the legs and how he stands up, and then I will figure out the angle about where to put the trunk. So I may do that, but anyway, that's what I've got put together so far. And the yarn I'm using is the Joann's yarn, which is the Big Twist yarns. And it is the colorway medium denim. So it's a gray, but it's got a blue, a little bit of a blue color to it as well. So that's what I'm using for that. And I'm using an F hook. I prefer using F hooks to just about all the amigurumis that I make. I usually use an F hook, which is, let me find it. If you don't go by what the letter size is for your hooks, it is a 3.75 millimeter. So that's the one I'm using. Okay, so there's finished object number 2. Okay, and now the next finished object, no, I'm sorry, not finished object, oh my goodness, works in progress, sorry. Okay, so the next works in progress is my square for the month for the Christmas character blanket that I've been working on. And that one, of course, is the one I've been showing you from January, but I'll show it to you again right quick, is the Christmas character square, and I'm working on that one down there at the bottom, which is the reindeer one. Okay, and I've reached the halfway point. See, here's my chart. I wanted to save ink, so I did it in grayscale, but anyway, I am halfway through where I've got it marked off, and I will show you my progress. Now, I had lots of yarn tails that I hadn't weaved in yet, and so I did that earlier today to make sure I had them all caught up, because you don't want to let those yarn tails get away from you as far as having so many to weave in. So anyway, here's my square. So I am halfway, so that means I am going to be decreasing now to get the rest of the chart in there. So he's turning out very cute. I used a red sparkly, I don't know if you can see there's a sparkle to it, but I used a red sparkly yarn for his nose, because each of my squares I've been putting some color of yarn that's got sparkle. So I figured I'd just carry on the not tradition, but carry on the pattern of me doing that. So each one I pick out some sparkly yarn to use, and I've got a green sparkly one, I've got a red. The green one is Karen Simply Soft Party. I have this red, I don't know what it is, I had it a long time, and I don't have the ball band anymore, so I'm not sure what that is. And then I have a white sparkly yarn that's got a silver, I believe, thread in it, running through it to make it sparkly. And that one actually is I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, metallic or something like that, I think. Anyway, so I've been picking one of those colors per square to have something sparkly on it. So there's my my installment or whatever, the square I've worked on for this month. So I'm thinking that I may be finished with this by next week, and it will be a finished object, I'm thinking, because it's going, once you get to the decreased rows, it goes pretty fast. So, and then I should possibly have Horton done as well. So we'll see. That's another 2 projects. Y'all can check on me through Facebook to see if I've got them finished up or not. Okay, so let's see. I've got one more works in progress. Now this is a new one. If you watch my tip video, which was crochet and crafting tips number 5. Yeah, I did that a couple of days ago, and I gave you a sneak peek in that that video showing you something that I had started, because since I had finished the that stitch sampler blanket. So I found this pattern and fell in love with it, and I just said, oh, I just have to do it. I have to do it. And so I am going to gift this to someone, friend of mine. I'm not going to say who, because I don't think she watches my videos, I don't think, but she might. And she sees it, she may even guess that it's for her. So, or some of my other viewers, the people that know me, they may guess that it's for her. If you guess who it's for, please don't say. So anyway, this is the pattern I'm doing. I will show you the chart. It is a corner-to-corner blanket of a llama. And I have a picture of the finished product, not mine, but the picture from the pattern. It's a free pattern, and it is, I wrote down, it's from the makeanddocrew.com, and there's a link to it on Ravelry. But I can show you a picture from that page, and like I said, it is a free pattern. I think it's just super cute. This is a lapgan size blanket, and hopefully you can see it. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm having such a hard, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. And of course I lost the page. Just a minute. Let me find it again. What did I do? Let me see. I got a new phone, guys, and so I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay, found it again. Oh, goodness sakes. You see it? Of course, I will put a link to it. Oh my goodness, it's not showing up too good, but I'll put a link to it because it is super cute. Around the edges, there's this, like, the border has these little, it's not really baubles, but they're kind of like these little ball looking things that you make out of gold, which I've got Red Heart Super Saver gold that I'm going to use, and it's just really cute. I think it's really cute. So anyway, here's what I've got so far, which is not a lot, but I have finally got to the point where I've started his hoof. So here you go. And see that little black spot right there? That is the beginning of the hoof. So now the next row, I think I'm going down this way. When I go up the other direction to go back, I will actually start with the white. So here's the chart. So I'm like very bottom tip hoof. But what is awesome, I think, makes it even more awesome, is the fact, bend down here, is the fact that I bought, and it actually calls for a white fluffy yarn that you use for the llama part. so that way it'll have a different texture. Now the gray, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver in the Gray Heather for the background color, and so I couldn't find the fuzzy yarn that they wanted me to use, but I found the same weight yarn in the Bernat, and so what it is the Bernat Pipsqueak. And so as you can see, it is going to be really fluffy strand. So I can't wait to start adding this into that and see how that texture is going to feel. I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really cute. Went to Joann's and I got all the colors that I needed for the bridle and the little saddle or whatever that is on the little blanket on his back. And so be sure to check it out though. I'll put a link in the description box below of this pattern, and so you can check it out and see a picture of it. And like I said, it is a free pattern. You just print the graph out, and if you are familiar with doing corner to corner graph gans, then that's how this one's done. Although you could use the graph and you could do what do you call it? Like the single crochet, I can't think what's it called, not corner to corner, but you go back and forth row to row and you color change with single crochets or whatever stitch you want to use. But anyway, stay tuned and watch this grow, because I think it's going to be really cute. So I'm having a fun time working on it already. So anyway, that is all my works in progress that I've been working on. I still, of course, have other things here and there that I've been working on, but I didn't work on this week. I've got a scarf I showed you last week, the chevron lace scarf. I'm still working on that, although I didn't work on it this week because I wanted to get that one blanket done and out of the way. So, but it'll be coming back, it'll be returning, because it is a Christmas gift. And what else? So upcoming, last week I talked about wanting to start making my donations for the NICU, the little preemie character hats for Halloween, and so I want to start working on those. I haven't yet. Well, I know I have one put up that I've done a while back, for that donation. But as far as that, I haven't done any new ones, but I have gone through Ravelry. There's my Ravelry library. Oh man, it's terrible. Anyway, I have gone through and I've picked out several really super cute little hats that I want to do, and so I would like to actually maybe get at least one done for this next week. I mean, a preemie hat is not very big, so I'm hoping I'll get one done, but at least get some started, one started or something. So anyway, I want to start that. That will be upcoming. Besides that, I have a few videos that will be upcoming. So as you know, I've been doing the crochet and crafting tips, not my tips, but my viewers' tips, and they have been awesome. I've had lots of positive comments saying that people have been learning different things from watching these tips and us and me discussing them, and so I'm still going through those, and I will just take up from where I left off on the comments. And so the tip video, that would be tips, crochet and crafting tips video number 6, and so that will be coming up, but probably not until the beginning of next week. Like this past one I did on Tuesday, so I may be doing it on Tuesday again for next week. What else? Oh, I had a request of somebody asking me if I could do a tutorial to show the corner to corner, how to do a corner to corner stitch. And so I'm going to go ahead and do a tutorial for that. I've been wanting to do a tutorial and I haven't done one in a while, and so I will be doing that. It won't be the corner to corner, how to do the graph gan corner to corner, at least not this time, but this will be for beginners that have never done just a basic corner to corner stitch, how to end up with a square piece or a rectangular piece and how to get started with it. That's the main thing, is once you get started, you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quick, and it's kind of self-explanatory how you go along with it, except for maybe when you have to start the decreasing. So anyway, I want to do a tutorial for that, and I think I'm gonna have time this weekend to do that, and so I should get that done possibly on Saturday. So be looking for that, though. I'm excited about doing it. So, and then what else? Oh, and then I have in 2 weeks, I have a video collab that I've been working with, talking with some of my fellow YouTubers, and I have a number of them that are excited to participate in it, and so we are going to be releasing those videos, or doing them and releasing them in a couple of weeks. Yeah, like 2 weeks from now, or during that week. So be looking for those. I think it's going to be exciting, and I think you'll enjoy the videos, I'm hoping. And so so that's upcoming. And the only other thing I wanted to mention also upcoming is I'm going to be doing a pattern that I've never done before, and that is I'm going to do a couple of circle vests. I know some of you have made those, but I have never made them before, and so that's going to be part of some Christmas gifts. And so I'm going to be doing those in a couple of weeks, or starting on one. I have a pattern picked out and some yarn, and so I'm going to be doing that. And so there's a lot of exciting things coming up, so I'm excited. I'm excited about it anyway. And so I guess that's all, really. I just wanted to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for those that have been with me from the beginning, and thank you for my new subscribers. It's still going up there. When I was checking a while ago, I had like 1,499. I need one more to make 1,500. And so when I do reach 1,500, or after that, I do plan on doing another pattern giveaway to celebrate my 1,500 subscribers, and so that should be upcoming too, because I'm right there at the line. So that should be upcoming possibly this next week. I will be posting a giveaway video announcing that, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for helping me to reach that number, because I definitely couldn't do it on my own. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, and come back and watch me watch my videos. I make weekly videos showing my progress of the different projects, mini projects that I'm working on. And like I was just mentioning, I do have a tutorial here and there that I put out, and I have a few tip videos I've been doing, and some other exciting things. So please subscribe and come along and join the group. And I would appreciate it a whole lot. I enjoy connecting with some of my viewers. I had a nice chat this past week, texting chat or messaging chat or whatever, with Emma, who I just recently met from the Facebook group, and we had a nice chat back and forth for a while, and she's from the UK, and I mean, there's no way that I would ever meet her except through this medium, or whatever you want to call it. And I think it's just awesome. I love meeting people that have the same interests and love for yarn and yarny things as I do. It just makes my day. So please subscribe if you haven't. And I guess that's it. I hope everybody has a great weekend upcoming. We just started school a few days ago. I homeschool my son, and we just started a couple of days ago, like I said, with our homeschooling year. This will be grade 11 for us, and so we got this one and one more. And so everything's going good so far, and so I hope everybody has a great weekend, and you should be seeing something else from me in just a few days. So we'll talk to you later then, guys. Bye.